It's 98 degrees outside right now, which is not bad considering the fact that it's gonna be like 108 later today. So I need to go to the store right now to get ingredients to mix up more soil because I want to start seeds for the fall. Monsoon planting here in the low desert starts after July 15th. So in like another week, I can start planting out things like tomatoes and peppers for the fall. And my grow tent is currently full of them. Some of my tomatillos have even started flowering, so I've been plucking the flowers off. They are just ready to go. I think I'm all lathered up. Let's go. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people here, which is understandable because, man, it is so freaking hot outside. Look how beautiful the sky looks, though. So misleading. Anytime I come to Lowe's, I always have to look at the trees. Do I need any more trees? Absolutely not, but I still like to look. I'm just window shopping right now. For someday when I have acres of land, I can just plant a whole bunch of stuff. What is this? Lady palm, a bunch of lemon trees. Ooh, they also have a bunch of dragon fruit. For like 20 bucks. And then these are fijoas. A lot of fijoas. Different varieties. I don't have any of these, but I do have the coolish variety, which is self-pollinating. And then it looks like they might have like birds of paradise over here. Look at these. Every time I see these, they remind me of California, Universal Studios, how they line the pathways. Enough getting distracted, time to pick up the actual compost that I came to get. They don't have the mushroom compost here, so I'm gonna grab 2 of these manure bags. Lately, I haven't been finding mushroom compost at Lowe's. I'm not sure why, but one thing that I plan to do is whenever I'm going to get the garden beds ready for the fall, there's a place here in Arizona called the AZ Worm Farm, and they have compost there that you can buy by the truckload, so by the yards. And my husband's gonna go pick some up maybe next weekend. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely before fall planting. My daughter's birthday's coming up soon, and she's been asking for some indoor plants, but she wants some that dangle. So I'll be coming here in the next few weeks to find a couple for her. Honestly, it makes me feel so happy that she's starting to get into plants, but she doesn't really like outdoor plants. She likes indoor plants for her room. I don't know anything about indoor plants, and I said I was gonna start growing some this year, especially during the summer months, but I just felt so intimidated that I still haven't picked up any. All the plants inside of my house except for one are fake. And somehow I found my way to this seed section. I feel like I can't go to Lowe's, Home Depot, any garden center without looking at the seeds. I want to see if there's any for the fall that I can start, like this American leek. I might pick up one of these. Snowball cauliflower. Last year I planted a whole bunch of the purple of Sicily cauliflower and not a single one actually produced anything. So I'm gonna try some of these. I don't grow Walton broccoli anymore because this one just doesn't grow very well in my area. But there are some other ones like Sun King. I try to look for some that say they're more heat tolerant. I have a lot of pumpkins that I need to transplant in a few more weeks, so I don't need any of that. One thing I do want to pick up though is corn. I have had no luck with corn so far in my gardening journey, so I don't know which variety grows well here. I might just pick up this one. I have not had any success growing chives, and I've sown like 2 packs of seeds of these, but maybe I didn't sow them at the right time, so I think I'm gonna pick up another pack and try again. These are all the seeds that I'm gonna pick up today. It looks like my favorite whiskey barrels are on clearance. Oh no, does that mean they're not gonna carry them anymore? Oh no. They were originally $17, now they're $13. So I think I'm gonna pick up as many as I can, just in case they stop carrying them. I'm getting 6 whiskey barrels. They have a bunch more in like this darker gray color, and these are really pretty too. That is so cheap compared to how much I bought my other ones for. So I'm gonna take advantage while they still have them in stock, because I can't believe they're not gonna carry them anymore. Okay, those are an amazing deal. One of my favorite things to grow in for sure. So I paid like 70 bucks for all of those containers which is really good. Last year I spent so much more money. To mix up the soil, I'm gonna use sand, compost, and either peat moss or coco coir. I don't have the coco coir yet, so I'm gonna use peat moss, and that's gonna be it. I might add in a little bit of fertilizer, not too much. I love having all the different colors. I got these from Bootstrap Farmer, and they're smaller than the ones that I'm used to using, but they have these sides right here that help to air prune. And honestly, the plants that I grew in it a few months ago did so well, all the tomatoes and peppers. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to start off with some peat moss, some manure, and last but not least, I got some all-purpose sand. Perlite. I'm gonna finish up and then I'll head back inside. I just finished creating my list of veggie starts for the month of July. These are what I'm gonna start indoors right now so that I can plant them out over the next few months for my fall garden. Oh, there's so much stuff. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, after starting this, I'm gonna laminate it. I'm using these laminating pouches from Walmart. They work really good. They're like $12 for a pack of 50 or like 20 something dollars for a pack of 100. All I do is I open them up, I place my paper in there, and then once my little laminator heats up, I can just pop it in there and it'll come out ready to go. And then I can get started. Beautiful that looks. My personal preference when starting seeds is I like to look a month to 2 months ahead of time, because that gives me between 4 to 8 weeks to start some of my indoor transplants. Due to unforeseen circumstances, aka my husband is cooking in the kitchen, I'm gonna start all the seeds here on my desk and hopefully I don't regret it. I have all my seeds here. Yes, I have a ton of them. I'm gonna cross off all the ones that I've already done. Like the pumpkins, I already have enough of those outside. I have peppers, tomatoes, tomatillos. I'm gonna cross off eggplant because I have so many eggplants in the garden. And when I was first starting out, I started a bunch of them, but I'm getting a little too much eggplant from the garden right now. So I don't need any more. Plus the ones that I already have, I can just overwinter, and then if by any chance any of them don't make it through the winter, I can start more seeds for the spring. But right now I have more than enough eggplant. Oh, I'm also gonna cross off cucamelon. I haven't gotten any production of cucamelon, but I have a lot of vines in the garden already, and I think those should still make it through the summer. I have my tags here. You guys have seen me make the wood burn tags. I stopped making those. And that's mainly for one reason, and that's that my baby started going around and pulling them up. And with these types of tags, if she pulls them up, she can't hurt herself. They're made out of plastic, so I don't mind. But with those, because they had the garden staple, I was scared that she would run around and accidentally hurt herself or something. I'm just not making them until she gets a little bit older. I think I'm gonna start with cabbages and Brussels sprouts. One of the cabbages I really wanna start is the Mammoth Red Rock cabbage. I got these seeds from M.I. Gardner. This one, the Copenhagen Market cabbage. This is the one that I usually buy at the store just because this one we use for a lot of things, and I have not had a really successful cabbage in the garden yet. I've grown a couple, but they always stay so small, so I figured maybe that's because I'm starting them too late. So I'm gonna start some now, and then I'm gonna keep succession planting them if I need to until I get a really good sized cabbage. I'm gonna take my tags and I'm gonna write on them with pencil because I've used markers before, and even if they're permanent markers, they fade in the sun. The pencil doesn't seem to wear off, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. And I'm just gonna write the name for each variety. So I'm just gonna make my little divots, and then I'm gonna pop about 2 seeds into each cell. I could also just get away with doing one. I like to do two just in case one of them doesn't germinate or just something happens to it. So there we go. There are so many seeds in each of these packets. This is like less than half of what's in the package. It's hundreds of plants that I can start for like $2. And I don't want to plant the seeds too deep. I'm kind of just leaving them at the surface of the soil, barely covering them. That way they can germinate faster. Now that I've sown a couple of the seeds, I'm gonna go through and check them off, because there's no better feeling than adding a little check to one of your to-do lists. So I did Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kohlrabi, and that's it. I only have 3 varieties of celery. I have the giant red celery, tall Utah celery, and Chinese pink celery. I'm not really impressed with the Chinese pink celery. Like, the color is beautiful and all, but it doesn't produce very well. I mean, the stalks are pretty thin. I tried blanching them and they still stayed pretty small. The taste is pretty good though, so I think I'm not gonna grow those this year. One thing that I feel like I'm starting to do the more I garden is trying to be a little bit more selective with what I grow. The first 2 years I've spent just trying to find as many cool varieties as possible and then narrowing those down to what will actually perform well in my garden, because I live in the low desert, so some things just don't grow really well here. So the tall Utah grew really well last year, and I'm gonna try the giant red for the first time to see how that one performs. Plus, I don't think I need to start any more of the Chinese pink celery because I have so many volunteers in the garden. Last year, they just started popping up everywhere, even in the pathways, because I let some of them go to seed. So I don't think I really need to do any more than that. For cauliflower, I have the early Snowball X cauliflower, self-blanched cauliflower. The first time I tried growing the Purple of Sicily cauliflower, it grew so well for me. This past winter, I didn't get a single one, which made me so sad because I really love this one. I didn't need to blanch it or anything. It was just ready to go, and it produced some really nice, huge heads, and I don't know what happened last year. I remember starting some of them, but they never actually produced anything for me. So I'm gonna start again this year because I love cauliflower. It's one of those veggies that I don't usually buy at the store. They tend to be kind of expensive, and there's no way I'm gonna find purple cauliflower anywhere around me. So I need to start a few. I have a ton of different cucumber seeds. I have gotten to grow one variety of cucumber, and that's it. And that is the Armenian cucumber. That one is my tried and true cucumber that I've grown here since I started gardening. Every other variety of cucumber has not produced anything for me, or the cucumbers have been really small, or maybe they just produced one. I had one lemon cucumber, and by the time I got to it, it was extremely bitter. I'm gonna try the White Wonder cucumber, see how that performs for me. Lemon cuke, and the Space Master cucumber. Because the rest of these are either Armenian cucumbers, different varieties, cucamelons, which I have a bunch of in the garden, and then I have a jelly melon cucumber. This one seems really cool. It's supposed to taste like lime jello on the inside. I thought I had other cucumber varieties. What happened? I don't know what happened to them, so I guess I need to pick up more. In the meantime, let's do some Space Master cucumber. I'm probably gonna place another order of cucumber seeds from MI Gardener today. If you live in the low desert and you have a variety of cucumber that has grown really well aside from the Armenian cucumber, please let me know, because I have the worst luck with cucumbers and I'm trying so hard to try other varieties, but I've gone through packs and packs of seeds and I don't seem to get anywhere with them. I'm gonna grow 4 varieties of broccoli this year. The first is the Green Magic broccoli. I bought this one from Haas Tools. Next up is a Sun King hybrid broccoli, Destiny hybrid broccoli, and Imperial broccoli. So I am just trying to get the ones that are more heat tolerant. That way they don't bolt as quick and I actually get some good sized broccoli heads. And this past winter, I got some really beautiful broccoli heads from one of these two. It was either the Destiny or the Sun King. I don't remember which one it was, so I'm gonna grow both. But guys, that's the first time that I had like broccoli heads that were like this big, like the size of my head. I took pictures of them next to my baby's head and they were bigger than hers. So I was like, yes, I need to grow these next year. I also have things like Calabrese broccoli, Walton broccoli, Yadfa broccoli, but I'm not gonna grow any of those because they have not done well in my climate. Purple sprouting broccoli, it looks beautiful, but it just doesn't grow well here. My garden is not
that huge to where I can just plant 50 varieties of broccoli and only have 2 varieties produced. So I'm gonna be more selective this year. Oh, as the tray keeps filling up, I just feel so accomplished. Like, oh, those seeds are ready to go in the moist soil, and they should be sprouting soon. For leeks, I'm gonna grow 3 varieties. First is the Tadorna leek. Next is the American flag leek, and then the Bulgarian giant leek. I'm gonna pause here because I ran out of tags. So I'm gonna finish up as much as I can, and then I'll order more tags on Amazon and finish this up another day. I'm finally done planting all of my seeds, and they're ready to go into the grow tent on top of a heating mat. I'm just gonna show you what they look like, and in a few weeks a bunch of these will be ready to transplant out, and then I can start my fall garden. And then in a few more weeks I'll probably do another round of succession planting, only because it's still gonna be really hot here in the low desert. So I'm trying to get a head start, but in case any of these don't make it, I want to have some more ready to go to replace them just in case. These are the trays. I planted the leeks in these bigger containers. That way I don't have to transplant them, and then I have everything else ready to go. Look at all these wonderful fall veggies. Earlier this year when I transplanted my tomatoes, they were probably about this height right here after the storm. And now they're gonna be like a good 1 to 1.5 feet tall on some of them. By the way, I struggled for like 2 years to grow ají charrapita, and I finally have some here. I actually have like 3 of them. I'm not gonna keep all 3 of them. I'm gonna give some away, but I finally did it. I conquered the pepper. I finally conquered the ají charrapita. Look how beautiful those look. So those will be transplanted out when the tomatoes get transplanted out as well. And you're probably wondering why the heck I have so many. A lot of these are dwarf tomatoes, so I'll be able to plant them in smaller containers. Some will go into garden beds, some will go into wine barrels, and then I'm also gonna give some away. But also they seem a lot bigger because they're in bigger containers. These are also from Bootstrap Farmer, so they've had a chance to really grow up. All of these that you see here came from one little flat of tomatoes. I finally have the trays on top of the heating mat, and the last thing I'm gonna do is just to cover it up with the humidity dome, just so that the seeds don't dry out quite as fast. I'm not gonna water it in anymore right now either, only because I made sure that the soil was really nice and moist. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching.